Okay, it's June, the summer's basically here, it's hot, it's Ninja Creami time. So I'm going to show you the absolute simplest way to make creamies. People are intimidated, you know who you are, even those of you who have bought a creamy and it's sitting there gathering dust. Here's how you make creamies, and we're going to simplify it to the most brutal bottom line steps. I'm going to make it very simple. I'm just going to make vanilla. I'm going to do 4 vanilla creamies, and as we've said many times, if you can make a good vanilla, you can make a good anything. So here we have the creamy containers. There's a line here that says 16 ounces. I went just below the 16 ounces. Since I'm doing vanilla, that's the water's the right amount. I'm just gonna pour them in, pour them in, pour them in, and one more, pour it in. Okay, so here we have 64 ounces of water, enough for 4 creamies. Now when I blend it up, it's probably gonna be a little more than that. That's okay if I have a little bit left over. Okay, so now the next question is, to make the ultimate vanilla, let me get my favorite vanilla, the HMR 120. Here it is. All right, so I'm just gonna do 4 scoops right in the water. All right, 1, 2, I might need another canister. 3, 4, just a little bit more because one of those was shy. Okay, so there it is. So I've got 4 scoops of 120 and I've got 64 ounces of water for 4 creamies. Now, we're trying to make the ultimate vanilla. So here's the deal. When you freeze something, there's just something about it and the taste buds, whatever flavors you're adding, get blunted a little bit. So we're gonna add, here I have 0-calorie vanilla syrup. I'm just gonna add some. I'm not even gonna measure it. I'm just trying to increase the vanilla flavor, increase the vanilla pow. Now, you could use, you do need to use something to thicken it even more. You could do it with just the HMR shake, but we want this to be an ultra creamy. So sugar-free, fat-free Jell-O instant pudding powder. I have probably the favorite, cheesecake. My tendency is to want to put that in, but I'm gonna be a purist here. I'm just going with the vanilla, putting the vanilla in, and this whole thing is 100 calories. So for 25 calories per creamy, I'm putting the whole thing in. This is gonna ensure that I have a really creamy. All right, now the last thing, you may not need to do this, especially with the pudding powder there as the thickening agent, but I always do this just in case. We've tried to mimic the thickening agent of the HMR shakes, which make the best blended shakes. We have our patented next step gum formula, a 2-to-1 ratio, xanthan gum to guar gum. You can get them for $6 each off Amazon. You'll have them for a year. Just 2-to-1 xanthan to guar, put them in here, mix it up, but don't add too much. You do not need to add much. So what I have here is a half teaspoon measure. For each creamy, I'm doing a half teaspoon. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so pretty simple so far, right? Water, a little bit less than the line. Okay, I did it for 4. The shake mix, extra flavor to add extra pow, extra thickening agent. We went with the vanilla Jell-O sugar-free, fat-free instant pudding powder. That adds more vanilla flavor, which isn't gonna hurt the frozen creamy. And then finally, a little of the guar gum. So now let me blend this thing up, and we're gonna make sure that this thing doesn't, it's a lot in here. I don't know if I've ever filled it up this high. Got to make sure this thing is really locked in here. All right, hold on. Got to make sure it's tight. All right, here we go. We ready? I'm not going to do it for very long. You're not trying to blend frozen fruit or crush up ice. You're just trying to get an even mixture. And I don't want it to overflow, so I'm just like kind of pulsing it. That's it. It should be good. That should be good just the way it is. One more just to get. There we go. Now we've got our creamy mixture. Got the whole thing. And now I'm just going to add it to these. And then as you'll see, put the tops on and freeze them overnight. Now, here I have the perfect, very rich vanilla blend. They're going to make an incredible pint of ice cream, 4 of them. I could add flavors to this now. I could add any of the Crystal Lights. Here we have the raspberry tea. Here we have the peach mango. Here we have grape. All sorts of things. And I'm inclined to add some PB Fit or PB2 powder to one of these. Let's make one of these vanilla a really tasty peanut butter ice cream. In fact, I think I will do that. So I will do that in just a moment, but let me now just do the pouring and just filling up the creamy containers to the line. See how thick it is? So again, it's just water. It's your shake mix. You pick the shake of your choice. I prefer the HMR because of how the thickening agent. And look at this. This works out almost perfect. So just a little below the line, and we have 4 perfect creamies here. I won't take the time to add the PB2 powder here on camera. I just wanted you to see that this can be very, very simple. So I'm just going to put the silver containers on the vanillas. If you're making multiple flavors, we strongly recommend, you'll hear this from others, label them. Because if you're doing 4 different creamies, you won't know what is what if you don't put some masking tape or some type of a label on there. And I think that's it. We've done it. Now I'm just going to add my peanut butter to this. And so calorie-wise, the HMR 120 is 120 calories, 12 grams of protein. I've added 25 calories for the pudding powder, and that brings us to 145. This is a weight loss ice cream, and it takes quite a while to eat it. You'll never prepare a shake in a way that takes longer to eat than with the cream. So there it is. I will blend these things up. Once they're frozen, I'm going to freeze them for 20 to 24 hours, and then they'll be ready to go. So that's why I did multiple here. You don't want to do onesies and twosies. Do as many as you can. My daughter makes them as well. We have 12 of these containers now. I just ordered 4 more, and you do them in bulk, and then they're ready to be creamied whenever you want one. All right, that's it. Okay, now we're going to put these in the freezer. So this is my gym. A few machines here next to the elliptical, tucked away, not the fridge. My special freezer. Oh my goodness. Move over broccoli, move over spinach. We are going to put the creamies in the freezer that makes them freeze the fastest. No faster way than putting them down here in their own little spot. Might as well be putting them in the Arctic. Yep. They say 24 hours. I do not have to wait 24 hours because this freezer really kicks in. I'll just hide them from my kids under the spinach. Very safe there. There's no safer spot, actually.